Cold therapy. It's said to have been one of the most beneficial things that we can do to make our mind, body, and everything else in between improve. From Wim Hof's method to cold showers and cryotherapy, there are various different ways that cold therapy has been used throughout the years to make people improve their lives. For the past 30 days, I ended up doing a challenge that was honestly one of the more scary ones leading into it. This 30-day challenge was cold showers. Obviously, before in my life, I have tried taking cold showers before, sporadically. I've actually had days where I'm really tired and I've tried to wake myself up with a jolt of cold water while in the shower. But doing it for 30 straight days, that was going to be something completely different and something that was absolutely crazy in itself. This is how most days went for me. Also, since I forgot to mention before, there's a reason I have my shirt off. I'm only going to be wearing shorts for this because, well, let's just say I have to blur something out. I don't want to mess up. Internet, full thing. I actually am going to probably not be wearing anything for the majority of the other cold showers, as I have already done them a couple times outside of what I'm vlogging right now. Can't wait for this. I'm not excited. I've learned a couple days in, you just gotta count down and go for it, or else it's not gonna be good. So, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, to be honest, there were some days where I did not jump into the cold shower immediately. I did start it off with more of a lukewarm setting. The first main reason being the fact that I do run a lot, and if I get really sweaty, I don't feel like cold water washes myself off as well. So I did try to get a scrub down of myself with hot water to kind of make sure that I got all of the disgustingness off of me when I went into the shower, because that is the main reason that people take showers. Then I'd immediately turn the knob to absolute cold, feel it change from nice-ish to not nice at all, and then I'd absolutely freeze for about 2 minutes. I always made sure that I at least did about 2 minutes. Sometimes it probably was a little bit under, but I'd have a song on. I'd have something that was probably like a 4-minute song, and then I'd make sure it would go halfway through, or I'd try to count to 120, and that was kind of the way that I went about making sure that I did have long enough cold showers to where, you stop feeling the cold in a way. I don't know if you guys have ever experienced going into a lake that's really cold, or the ocean that's really cold, or just ice bathing or something like that. And after a few minutes, you don't feel the cold anymore. So you kind of have the effect of freezing kind of. And that's mainly what I was talking about with the cold showers. The hardest days for me, honestly, were when I would shower on Saturdays. And I'll be honest, I don't work out on Saturdays most of the time. So I don't feel the need to shower because I shower often. Sometimes I shower twice a day on the days I'm working out. So I feel like I don't really get myself dirty. So sometimes I just don't shower on Saturdays. Actually, more often than not, if I'm not working out, I won't shower. And to be honest, plunging into the cold 100% on Saturdays was rough. I did get used to it, but it was rough. I mean, honestly, when you go into cold showers and you're experiencing that, and it's starting to get a little bit colder as the time of year changes, it was really rough, I'm gonna be honest. The other times where it was very hard was when the temperature did change and it was starting to get cold. And if you guys think that it's easy to go into a cold shower immediately after you run in the cold, think otherwise. It was honestly pretty hard. Only having the motivation and reason of an arbitrary 30-day challenge was honestly kind of hard. I did know that there was a lot of physical benefits to it, but that was outweighed by the determination in my mind to do this arbitrary 30-day challenge. And to be honest, it did wake me up. Every time I went in there, it woke me up all the way. I was as awake as I had ever would have been throughout that day. but I did think I felt the benefits. I ended up getting my mileage to being pretty high during this challenge. I was at about 77 miles in a week, and that was a lot for me. So I believe that I felt a little more fresh than I otherwise would have felt. I've never felt that fresh while running that much. So maybe the cold shower did a bit of work on me to get that recovery going and to get me feeling better, because cold therapy has been shown to do those sort of things for people who exercise pretty intensively. As I mentioned earlier, cold therapy has been found to be very beneficial, and it seems cold showers fell into that category for me. I'll be 100% honest, I had a lot of trouble with what is called the Flinch for the first 2 weeks of this challenge. The Flinch by Julian Smith is a book that talks about the concept of going into life and pushing through various flinches. And when it comes to cold showers, it's a very hard thing to do, and it causes you to flinch very hard at pushing through going into the shower because you're afraid that something negative is going to happen. You're afraid of going into something that feels like it's going to negatively affect you. This, however, is something that you need to overcome in order to get out of your comfort zone. The whole point of the book, The Flinch, even though it has cold showers as the cover of the book, is actually really about the fact that you need to push through things that make you flinch in life, because if you don't do that, you're going to settle a lot, and by pushing through more flinches, you're going to have a more expanded and meaningful life. Some tricks that I have for helping you guys if you want to do cold showers and get the benefits of them would be to first maybe put on a fan or do something that would make you semi-cold before you go into the shower. Not really cold, that's not going to help, but I found that if there was a minor temperature difference between the cold in the shower and the world that you were going to be in beforehand and afterward, or me personally, I had an easier time going through that process and not feeling that there was a drastic change. Sure, would I get really cold when I wake up? Yeah, but it wasn't that awful. Another recommendation that I would have would to be really hot going into a workout and then going into the cold shower to kind of cool you off. That temperature change was actually nice feeling on the few occasions where that happened towards the end of the fall when it was kind of warm out. Definitely would recommend that. If you're hot, the cold shower will not feel nearly as bad. And if you don't want to jump into the shower from not being wet to going into the cold shower, I would recommend starting with lukewarm or mildly warm water and then immediately switching it to the cold water. As for me personally, I kind of have this issue even when it's warm or lukewarm water or hot water. If I'm not covered in water in general, I'll have a flinch and I don't feel like I'm having a fun time the second I get into the shower, so it won't really matter. So for me, switching immediately from lukewarm to cold was kind of a nice switch there. But what you do have to do then would be to literally just embrace the fact that it sucks and just wait for it to come. It'll hit and scrub your body. Like just finally do this and scrub in different ways. The scrubbing honestly helps a lot. That was a little bit of a trick to get through the really hard first portion of cold showers. One of my favorite days during this challenge was actually the fact that I didn't have to do a cold shower the second time I ran. So I ran twice in a day, and I remember at the beginning of this challenge, I told myself I have to take a cold shower every day. And I realized after taking a second run that I did not need to take a cold shower. However, I will say, I went into the shower, I kind of took a lukewarm shower, then finished it off a little bit of cool at the end so that I wouldn't get that nice feeling of warm showers again, because I really did not want to feel like that was going to be the normalcy, because the next day the flinch would have been really bad and I would have been standing outside of my shower for like 5 minutes as the cold water ran. And that did happen a few times. So I knew what that was like. And I was like, I have to keep this momentum going, or else going into the cold shower is going to be very difficult for the next day. When you look at different people in the world, for example, like David Goggins, who talks about how pushing through pain is something that each of us can do, and how the majority of us probably have like 60% more to go when it comes to improving the amount of work we do on a day-to-day basis. I found that it was very important for me to learn to push through this adversity consistently throughout the entire 30 days. Even if it's not cold showers, embracing the flinch and trying to improve yourself can be a various set of things, such as trying to get better at videography, trying to get better at whatever it is you want to that can help you improve your life. For me, I'm trying to build this online brand and community, and I truly believe that that is helping me embrace the flinch every day, because I'm no expert at this. I'm still learning how to do it, and as you guys can tell, I've gotten a lot better over time. For me, one of the main ones that I ended up doing was committing myself to waking up around 5 a.m. every single day. And as one of my roommates, who's currently still my roommate, but last year lived in the exact same room with me and slept in the exact same room with me, he can attest to the fact that this embracement of the flinch and trying to improve myself was not easy. That involved incredibly hard mornings for me, filled with barely being able to wake up, and also involving a lot of failure. My roommate Nathan, that shared a literal small room with me last year in the dorms, probably knows the worst of my failures at trying to get up early. All right, Nathan, what was it like to deal with me trying to wake up at 5 a.m. all the time last semester?
This kid sucks, man.
But after all that failure and after everything that Nathan just went over, I'll be honest, I did improve, and I did get to the point where I do wake up around 5 a.m. relatively easily. I don't snooze. I really get up and try to embrace the day at such an early time. And that's a testament to the fact that if you want to achieve something and you want to improve yourself, you just got to keep attacking that flinch until you stop flinching at that specific thing and you stop giving up and giving in to easiness. I did the exact same thing with cold showers, as by week 3, I ended up being pretty good with the flinch. And I'd faced the fact that I was going to go into this cold shower pretty confidently. And honestly, by the last week, it was kind of nice. Like, I'll be okay. I don't want to say it was that nice because I'm not like doing it every day now, but there were some days where I was like, okay, I can appreciate the fact that this is waking me up. It doesn't feel that bad. And I'm feeling better after I get out of the shower. I've mentioned before that I'm a fan of Richard Yu, and he makes great videos where he talks about the non-negotiables in his life. Mainly, he talks about studying the Bible, waking up early, and his early morning cold shower, which honestly, I give him a lot of credit for, especially after having done this experiment. So whatever it is in your life that you can find to help you embrace the flinch, go after it, take charge, and stop flinching. Because that's like the whole, like if you don't embrace the flinch, you get the point. With that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. And if you could please like the video and subscribe if you haven't checked this video out before, I'd really appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, thanks for being here. I make videos every single week, and I'm always here to try to help everyone build a better life. With that being said, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.